dump off. Crowl finishes it.
Moreno out of Hemphill, open three, and that one is no good. And here's a long pass from Davison to Crowl. He slams it through. Stephen Crowl with a nice little finish. Higgins going around. Nice steal from Davison right there. Davison going to take it on into the zone. Gets it to Davis. Out of Crowl, and Crowl gets in, and he's fouled right there.
Great offense there by Wisconsin in transition. Davison over to Davis.
Davison gets it. Davison to Wall. Down to Crowl, and he slams it home. Stephen Crowl with another bucket right there. And now Hepburn racing on in. Hepburn, little move, and Crowl wide open in a basket. And the finish. The two young guns getting it done right here, and a timeout taken. And the Badgers.
Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Nebraska a year ago.
Nice little flash by Wall. There's a little high-low note already. Nice look.
And Wall finishing inside.
All of a sudden, a different looking little high-low game. Wall to Wall. Big time finish.
Than they ran last year under Buzz Williams. A lot of changes on both ends of the floor.
Got to keep an eye on Brad Davison from beyond the arc. No double on Stephen Crowl this time, and he spins to the baseline for the jam. Davis nearly turned it over. The Aggies very active at the defensive end. Pressure again on Crowl, and he finds Davis underneath.
Well, Crowl was very smart. He didn't panic, dribbled out of it.
Davison draws a crowd, finds Crowl. Davison's telling Crowl, go to the basket.
Well, he wanted him to finish that play. Got the bucket anyway, but that should have been a layup. From Minnesota, gets the ball in the post against Fotu. Goes up, gets the roll.
4 of 16 now on the season, but knocks that through to put Marquette in front by 2. Davison open, corner 3, the answer. Crowl, little shimmy shake, baseline, what a move off the glass. The 7-footer.
He is an emotional player, yes, Xavier Johnson. Inside Davis.
Oh my goodness.
When we come back, as we take a look at tonight's bold move brought to you by Velveeta. It is bold, it is smooth, and it is powerful. The Badgers.
With a shooter like Antonio Reeves, Johnny Davis got held up as well.
Davison finds Crowl on the other end and the basket. Crowl with 17. Here's Neath. Right out on top of him is Bohannon. Lob down low. Wall got behind McCaffrey and a good find. Iowa takes the timeout with the Badgers up 11.
Big Ten football is so great. There's this deep love for your team, and you get blinded by it. Down the lane, the hammer for Crowl.
Appreciate that setup. Wisconsin doing a good job of operating offensively. The sit down, good footwork, draw 2, dish it to Stephen Crowl, who's been terrific.
Great Big Ten race shaping up the next couple of months for the title. It's a huge game of the standings. Middle of the lane, Crowl for 2 and a foul. Three on Liddell.
Now the best thing, we do all these silly things. I just think don't reward it.
Davison cutting down the lane. He got decked and he scored anyway.
Man.
Wisconsin. Get you in that grinder.
Downloaded Davison, first 2, goes to the 5th-year senior. Chris Collins saying today the goal for his team is a 1-to-1 ratio of shots to points for Davis. As Wall inside hits the layup. Nice feed by Crowl. You talk about where this thing went wrong for Northwestern. They have 4 more field goals than Wisconsin. They're making 3 more field goals than Wisconsin as Crowl throws down the dunk. Thus far, Hepburn down. Here's Crowl. The double team comes. Nice feed to Wall. And there's our first bucket of the game.
Dave, consider this. Wisconsin was 11 for 32 in the second half of their last game. In the first half today, they're 8 for 28.
Blocked by Crowl. Wall. Now Davis into Crowl.
Tyler Wall was ice fishing in that lane that time. He was in there quite a bit.
They defend on that end. They're making shots and they're defending on this end right now. They're into passing lanes. They're playing as 5.
Hard take, body bucket and 1 that time for Crowl.
At finding space, and the guards have been great at getting him on those drop-off passes. It's fun to watch.
Stephen Crowl looking for the back down, and he finds Wall. That was nicely done, post to post. And they work it around now to the left side. Crowl back to Wall, who finishes it with the left hand.
Lisa, just great basketball. We've got a great game at the goal center. Tyler Wall with the pass and the cut to the front of the rim.
Two-player game. Crowl gets the and 1.
Yeah, Stephen Crowl guarding Trace Jackson Davis inside, just a deflection. And Indiana cannot afford to have empty possessions.
Here is Johnny Davis with a hard cut for the first 2.
Yeah, that's been a tradition here since Bob Knight was the coach.
Crowl, 2-hand for the flush.
But Tyler Wall just cleared out 2 defenders.
And I'll tell you what else I'm seeing. Tyler Wall does a lot of good things like that.
1 of 9 from the field. Only 3 points for Lowy.
Good cut by Brad Davis. And he just used Stephen Crowl as a screen right there.
Jordan Davis picks up his dribble. There's 3 to shoot. Has to be Crowl, right hand, glass, yes!
Stephen Crowl, it's been some of the other guys. That last Wisconsin offensive possession.
And a bobble by Johnny Davis back on the floor to Crowl. Crowl, oh, nice up and under for Crowl to get to the rim.
Stephen Crowl took his time.
11-1 run for Rutgers. Working against Reber is Crowl. Crowl turns, and that left hand hook, how pretty. Hepburn 2 to shoot. Crowl, the open man. Oh my goodness! Crowl with a huge 3, and Wisconsin vaults back up.
To use his 5 fouls, and Wisconsin doesn't have that luxury. Yeah, Tom Izzo can quickly become Phil Jackson in that way as Davis pulls up and fires a bullet for Crowl. Just a terrific decision by Johnny Davis.
Wall, double teamed.
Nice job of commentaries there.
And 1, Stephen Crowl.
And Wall had his head up. And then Crowl, look, you have a nice crowd here. You don't need another spectator.
Stanford's doing a really good job of getting Wisconsin to eat up the clock in their half-court set.
Nice pass inside to Jordan Davis. Crowl was feeling the pressure. And the siege from the top of the key, rimmed in and out. Crowl, second opportunity. Jordan Davis. And 1.
Well, I tell you what, Jordan Davis is Johnny on the spot. Great hustle by the Badgers. That's a good decision by a siege. I thought, even though he didn't make the
Klesmit drives and his floater, no. Crowl offensive rebound, that is good. And chance for a 3-point play. Also hear from Jake Butt talking about college football playoffs. Michigan, Ohio State.
You said early in this game, you're watching 2 NCAA tournament teams. They've only confirmed that as play continues. Wide open, busted coverage.
Everything's so chaotic. Mark Turgeon steps down. Danny Manning takes over, but he's going to be a big-time player. Now the Wisconsin press break is a big-time player as well. They are
with their jumper here because it has been a cold game shooting the ball.
And Tyler Wall just came up to the table and said, "You guys having fun yet?" It's all fun in the Big Ten Conference. Klesmit inside touch to Crowl. Crowl looking for space.
with the left hand over the top of Rabracha. He wanted 3 seconds. Crowl, good feet on a Sejan.
Just a phenomenal cut.
Mismatch.
Crowl's going to have to go.
Crowl trying to get space. Right hand hook. Yes!
So good.
I like that term. It's a great term. Another turnover. 3 straight possessions ending in turnovers for Lehigh. Wall, a little shake and bake. And the Badgers have the lead again. Hepburn one-on-one. Klesmit now on the drive. Gives it off to Crowl.
Space to go finish through. And then he explodes and finishes.
Klesmit. No whistle. Still finished.
Good offensive move. There wasn't much he could do about it, but he made sure there was pressure on that shot. And if you do that, they're going to miss a few of those.
Crowl banging with Titus right and count the basket.
Well, I don't know how you see these post players doing that. The offensive players banging, the defense. Norman wanted it. You could see his eyes. He was going to shoot that one.
Hepburn to Crowl for the flush. Here's another look. Bounce, the slam. He was at Cal State Fullerton a couple of years. Now
nice pass.
Michigan. And another great basket for Wisconsin.
Lob dunk. In the Big Ten season, you're going to have your work cut out for you.
Crowl. Contact inside and scores. And a flop has been called on Ola Joseph.
And I think you saw how important experience is, especially in the backcourt. You had Paul Mulcahy and Caleb O'Connell going against those very good. Paid some dividends for Wisconsin in the first half, having Hepburn coming off those screens. There's why.
Give and go to Crowl.
Utilizing Hepburn as the primary ball handler. You screen, nice delivery.
They're just that extra effort to keep this possession alive.
Into Crowl against Danger. Crowl with 3 to shoot. Off to the right hand, and Crowl scores to unlock the scoring.
Lindsay. And here comes Hogard again, pushing the Walker. Walker shot is blocked. That's one thing that if you watch Michigan State play, these guards are not afraid to give the ball up and throw. Badgers can retake the lead with the bucket. And it's Crowl in the lane, counted in one. Second on Sissoko. Crowl's got 11. Boy, Stephen Crowl continues to play at a high level on the offense. Sissoko working on 4 fouls here. Crowl. He sat on that left shoulder. Crowl still got it. So flips it with the up and under. Down the stretch, the Badgers are going to go to 22. Stephen Crowl, Monty Sissoko getting on that left shoulder. Here's the up and under. Getting to that right hand. Crowl fantastic all night long in that painted area. They go to Stephen Crowl. 2 minutes left in the game. Jump hook, yes.
Then get out of the way. If you help, he'll find somebody. Good passer.
Crowl with Geronimo on his back. Rolls him up to spin. Puts it down off glass.
He's patient, isn't he?
They've done a great job on him to this point. He's been averaging 17 points a game in the last 7 games, and it's been impressive how they put it lockdown on him.
Lou Henson was not pleased with me whenever Danny Jones and I hooked up, but tough competitor.
Stephen Crowl goes to the hook and gives the Badgers the lead.
Oh, great read.
Yes, indeed, and Crowl with authority. He's fouled as well by Robbie Barron.
Boy, little wrinkle to the set that Wisconsin was running that time. And so they knew that there was going to be a switch there with Robbie Barron trying to help on Connery
Crowl powering his way up, count it, and Verhoeven just picked up his 5th foul in 5 minutes of action tonight.
And you think Wisconsin didn't know that Verhoeven had 4 fouls? Tyler Wall had a backup.
Chris Collins has been hot over there for a while in the second half. He better be careful.
Yes, he has.
Down inside, great pass and the finish from Crowl.
And then look at the back screen by Connery Seaton. Maybe caught an elbow in the exchange. And I think college basketball needs to be commended for the job they do in terms of raising funds for this effort.
So the attention to detail, attacking the game plan that Coach Garher put together is working.
And a jam by Crowl.
Maybe a little bit with their hands, but now Crowl is able to get deep post.
Here's Crowl with a para. He spins baseline on Akpara. Whoa! Nifty move.
Experience. Crowl setting him up middle. He knows he has the baseline. It was just a matter of time when he was going to do it. Akpara did an excellent job of pushing Stephen Crowl out a little bit, but Crowl already knew the baseline was going to be open, and he set him up. That's experience versus an inexperienced player.
Northwestern getting out in transition in a smart, unselfish play by Audige to set up the freshman.
Great feed from Crowl to Klesman.
You can slip Northwestern.
4-point lead for Northwestern after 2 big free throws from Verhoeven. Tyler Wall to Crowl with the slam.
Here's that Wall drive. Got Verhoeven a little late coming over, a little bit out of the play.
Davis with the entry pass and the double coming on Stephen Crowl. We saw a lot of that against Northwestern. Seaton in the corner drills a 3.
That was a big-time shot. Crowl being a very capable and willing passer. Now watch, it's a nice use of the fan dribble. And look where the pass hits him. Hits him above there. He can get that little rhythm hop and go right into his shot. If that thing is off to the left or to the right, the defender, in that case Pickett, is going to have a much better...
In the final minutes, outscoring Penn State 11-6 in overtime. Crowl working on Walker here. That's a matchup to keep an eye on. Crowl won that round.
They're waiting for that double to come until he puts it on the deck. Now, on the other side of the floor, it was Griesel a couple of possessions ago. Now he puts it down. Here comes the smaller player, in this form, Hoiberg.
Michigan with numbers. They're not a team that finds fast break opportunities often, but they are getting one in transition.
Good cut. Hepburn lays it in.
Great back screen. Wall taking the charge and takes 2 points off the board.
Here's another cut. Seaton.
That's a line cut. And honestly, if you're guarding a Seaton there.
Crowl. Working on Dickinson.
It's the midway point of this first half. Klesman for Wall. For Crowl.
On the pass. And then Klesman, ball fake to Wall over to Stephen Crowl for the easy dunk. They went away from him too quickly.
Here's Crowl. He is surrounded. McGee left open for 3. What a big shot by Kamari McGee.
They've heated up in the exact opposite direction here in the last 3 possessions. Nice kick out of the post.
His development has been so crucial for this group. And I love the aggressiveness he's played with. He can really handle it. He can post. And Iowa's defense is not getting it done. Got 2 5s out here battling each other. And
1 for 13 are the Hawkeyes from 3. Spin down to Crowl to the flush.
Pick and roll has been good to the Badgers here in the second half. Look at this pass from Chucky Hepburn.
Crowl needs to take him. They'll try to. Look, see all that bumping. There's got to be something there. Good staging. Finishes and the foul.
And the Michigan fan as a kid has come to play at Ann Arbor with his mom and family cheering him on.
And Wisconsin with a chance to tie. Hepburn nearly lost his dribble. Still made the pass. And 1 for Crowl. That play was broken and then pieced back together.
That's Chucky Hepburn, man. Such a difference when Chucky Hepburn. Wow, that was incredible. On the replay, it was better than.
Badgers
Dodgers let it breathe. Crowl, a lot of contact with Garcia, and one again for Steven Crowl.
Well, if it's working, keep going.
They had that stretch where they lost 9 in a row.
I think some of the play with Zed Key is there's a Sejan off the ball, getting something in the painted area.
If it's not broken, don't fix it. Sejan, nice pump fake, and then he puts it in for his first set of points tonight. Down low looking for Crowl. Getting it right back, putting it up, and it's in. Great play there, put in by John Blackwell. He is back with the bandage on his knee, and here he is. Down low, great pass, and it's put in by Connor Sejan.
Swing it, connect. Here's Ziegler, who can shoot it. Cross court, taken away by Crowl, midair. And Vescovy on the reach commits the foul right at midcourt.
Wow. Tell you what, you look at the big fella. How about this? I do.
56% from the free throw line. And now Crowl lobs at the Store. He comes down, and the effort up and good for A.J. Store. Store now back in for the Badgers. Sejan finds Crowl open, now contested shot, and one.
That is exactly what you want to be seeing from Steven Crowl right there. Not looking for the contact.
Nope. Absolutely. You talk about a Virginia team that does a great job, especially on high ball screens, of getting out high. I love that. They worked on that yesterday.
Offense a little easier to come by for both these teams. Crowl by himself in the jam. 5, how about the vision here?
Yeah, middle ball screens or that dribble handoff has created some beautiful opportunities on the interior.
Sejan passed up the 3, trying to get inside. Now Crowl, who has been quieted tonight.
One-on-one, he's got to score here.
And he does. +1. Crowl, the grand total of 2 points in the game to the shot.
SMU's been double teaming him all night.
3 Badgers around it in the hands of Blackwell. Klesman, wide open.
On the perimeter, Max Klesman has been moving beautifully without the basket.
They don't make the layup, but they're putting pressure on the rim.
2 for 8 so far. As Crowl gets in deep for the jam.
Great pace. It came across, ball screen handoff, roll hard to the basket. Good things happen when you roll hard. You get a slam dunk, but here, a little handoff, slip, roll hard to the rim, big fella, put it down. It's got to make a big man happy. Both of those are why their free throw attempts are up this year.
Cisse's got it down low and ripped away by Store. Talk about lightning quick. Store with a spinorama.
When you get in this environment where you play defense, you learn to dig. Now you go out and you play him in transition. That's what AJ wants to get out and play as far as what he does.
You just kind of look up and boom, he's got his double figures. Crowl, nice spin move in the jam.
And all he does here is feels the defense, spins, finishes. The attention that it brings, it's awesome to watch it. And it's awesome to see what's ahead of them here tonight.
And it is possible as Crowl just caterpillars a ball in and draws the whistle. He'll head to the line.
Yeah, we can go with that. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Good fishtails. I like fishtails every once in a while. Great duck in.
That's Crowl with the finish. It was all about that feed from Klesman.
It was all Klesman. No duck in. It wasn't that big a deal at all. But you look at this ball screen action, right as the ball screen happened.
And there are boys in the crowd wearing 22.
There's not one or the other. But she embraces it. That's what I love about it.
A Sejan with a great feed to Crowl. Crowell's had a marvelous day. 19 points and 9 rebounds.
Crowl trying to get loose, was kind of hooked by Green. He has the weak side pass to Storr. Another basket, another foul. And A.J. Storr will have a chance for another three-point play after a timeout.
Wisconsin has been under.
Not a very long leash for the Chicago State Cougars here.
We've seen worse.
Crowl goes up and scores over two defenders.
Sometimes it's very simple. Seal your man, ask for the ball, and throw it down, big fella.
Inside Wall. Kick it to Crowl. The jam. Back-to-back possessions with dunks here.
Yeah, Wall, big pass inside by Crowl. He just throws. This is what you do. When there's a double team inside, the opposite side big should just dive down the lane. And wow, he caught Dick strong.
Crowl nearly had it poked away.
He's got a weight advantage here.
There goes Hepburn.
There's that cut again.
Talk about this cut. Look where Hepburn comes from.
But look where his defender's head is, and you hear people all the time, put your head on the swivel, on the swivel. You can't put your head on the swivel because it creates a blind side when you're looking one way.
In-control point guards in the conference.
No, I think that's it. Look at their assist-to-turnover ratios. I think that tells part of that story. Look out.
Oh, my. Storr climbing the ladder for the two-hand flush.
Halftime in Columbus, A.J. Storr continues to excel. 15.
Hampered by that left knee. You see the wrap on it. Working against Key. Trying to muscle Key out of the way and count the bucket. He'll go to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
We saw Steven Crowl try to back down Felix Akbar in the first half and couldn't move him, but he is moving Zed Key. And look at the way that Key is having to lean and put all that body weight into him.
It is, and if Wisconsin goes 5-0, think about the advantage they have. But if Northwestern gets the win this afternoon, what does that do for everything else?
Wall, great seal and finish.
Disrupt this half-court offense.
Now they're back into their swing action, something that when they're struggling to score, something that they go to. And there's Steven Crowl with the big-time flush over two guys, something that they're comfortable with. You know, they've been doing the European-style ball string.
It's still very methodical. They make you work in the half-court.
As Steven Crowl rolls, you know, guys step up. You need rotation on the backside. DeMarco Dunn hesitates there on the block. More dangerous to deal with. You got guys that can make threes, and DeMarco Dunn, Kanye Clary, and when Ace Baldwin's shooting the ball the way he is, they're just spreading the floor out, and now Wisconsin's almost scared to help.
That counts.
As the lefty with his right hand, high and soft right off the glass.
He's got his 10th 20-point game of the season. Kanye Clary and Crowl is all alone for Wisconsin. Difficult shot after difficult shot, and Crowell's been hanging on rims a few times.
And made the extra pass to his teammate, making the right play. That was an excellent play, very unselfish by Zach Hicks.
And Crowl diving to the rim for the dunk.
Penn State's going to have to continue to rotate on that backside.
They have one last gasp in there. Crowl feeding Storr.
It's been a problem all night long off the post for Indiana's defense.
Hepburn picks up a foul at mid.
And Gilmore trying to save it, did, but to Hawkins. Here's Garcia off his hands.
Bad pass. Bad. That's a 4-point swing. That's a 4-point swing and a momentum swing as well. With the Golden Gophers. Watch where this pass is. It's behind Garcia. You're leading him into trouble, and then it's compounded by the fact that Gilmore.
A bucket here. You wonder if Tom Izzo may take a timeout.
I like this one. Take your time.
Crowl with two defenders, great feed, and Wall lays it in.
Excellent mover without the basketball, and their bigs do a great job, big-to-big passing inside.
Media timeout at the next whistle, and we'll get that whistle now as Steven Crowl rejects it out of bounds. And the shot went down, so it could have been a 9-point game, but instead, you're still at a dozen. Crowl trying to make it 15. What a big swing that is.
The basketball's reversed out of there, and Steven Crowl, who was 4 for 4 from 3.
Crowl keep it moving. Klesmit, nice play. Credit to them on a pick and roll. Back your way in. Crowl, help from Edie. Nice feed it. And the finish by Asijin. Gotta reread and replace.
Consistency on the defensive end for the Badgers here.
Hepburn off the fake, bounce pass, Crowl found a crease and throws it down, and a foul.
Okay, Stephen Crowl, I see you. Oh, the premier shot blocker in the league, Stephen Crowl. Been frustrated offensively the last couple games, but he's exercising some demons right there. I see you. Put Cliff down there wide open.
12 assists and 15 made field goals. Storr, and that was Crowl. Hang out, we have a foul here. So Crowl, Storr on the drive. That was clean, but then Crowl and one. Asijin, bounce pass, good look to Crowl, it'll count in one.
I'm telling you, Asijin is earning himself more playing time. He got buried a little bit, had an injury early in the
Thought he played really well in the first period.
Red guard wants possessions that put pressure on the paint. Hepburn into the paint, now he dishes inside, and one.
Boy, Hepburn just in total control here of the offense, and as he gets to the middle of the floor, look at the duck in here from Stephen Crowl, finding the body of Akpara.
Certainly the right call on the first foul on Tyler Wall. Here's Cricky, rejected. Well, Stephen Crowl can do that. Leads the team in blocks, and a big one there.
Well, I like the fact that Ben Cricky turned the corner with some ill intention.
So that kind of thickens the plot a little bit.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Oh, there's a nice feed and a nice flush from A.J. Storr.
And look at Crowl's vision. Throws right over the top. A.J. Storr backdoor dunk because of Crowl's vision. Can A.J. Storr create? Oh, that's a beautiful pocket feed.
He can create. He finds Crowl on the roll to the bucket.
Oh, my goodness. That, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're probably surprised at me making such a big deal on this.
Looked like he might have been holding his throat, Renew, on the way back down the floor. Crowl post-up opportunity, spins baseline, gets to the rim and explodes.
Well, if you're going to go up on Khalil Ware, resistance standpoint, here's Crowl going right back at you.
35% behind the arc this year for the Big Ten's second leading scorer. Here's Wall. A deep position and Crowl the rebound.
All in the painted area, puts it up, and Stephen Crowl runs to the opposite side of the rim. Tip dunk, Wisconsin up 7.
One of them was get good grades. The other 9 all revolved around basketball. There's Crowl inside with a two-handed slam.
Where two players close out and screen the defender, and Ryan Langford open look.
Oh my goodness, Stephen Crowl with the emphatic answer.
Got caught up in the mix, and then look at that pocket feed from John Blackwell to Stephen Crowl. No help.
Busman to Crowl for 3.
Oh, don't hold the follow through, big fella. I see you, Stephen Crowl.
And that's his 7th 3. That ties his career high. The tournament record for threes in a game is 8. And a bounce down low, and Crowl with a hammer.
Wisconsin starting to wear Northwestern out. Luke Hunker has been a physical force most of the afternoon. And then Stephen Crowl having himself an afternoon coming back home.
He had a great game earlier in the season. The roll by Crowl and the finish with the left hand. And he got hit on the head. And one opportunity for Stephen Crowl from Eagan, Minnesota. So coming back near his hometown, trying to deliver here in the Big Ten semifinals.
And a nice set there, Raph. They empty the side, and Lawyer just a little bit.
They're never in a hurry unless they have to be. Nice hands. But it bounces. Ricochet. Big finish. How about the give back? And Bird, they're going side to side. I like this. In their earlier game, a little stagnant and a lot of ISOs. Crowl fouled out yesterday, 11 points, and he gets it to go reverse style.
And that's so important.
We're going to get that one to go over the likes of Stephen Crowl. Crowl to Winter through the lane and finishes. I mean, you'll take 2 there, Joey, but no, Winter. Tanjay saves it, but right into the hands of Max Green. Here come the Crusaders with numbers. But now Green loses the handle on it, and Tanjay's open down the other end. He'll look to go off two and finishes. And John Blackwell, recently moved to point guard, will take it. Blackwell stepping back, feeding Winter. There's Crowl down low and slamming it home. A perfect way to start this game. That's Kamari Gee, who had it momentarily. Fan favorite for this team. Played some crucial minutes for them last year when Hepburn was out, and McGee lays it right in. And App State just can't solve how to put the bucket through the hoop after that hot start. Now Tanjay off one. Contact, no foul, but he puts it through the Badgers.
Wisconsin trying to follow suit, up 5-0 early. Crowl.
If there's one thing I'd like Stephen Crowl to do is be more aggressive.
And how about as a passer, finding Blackwell for the easy deuce.
Walker's good, point blank range.
Janicki in, oh, give and go, Janicki, got it to go.
Well, once again, Crowl kind of in that baseline there. As soon as he touched it, he knew Janicki was cutting back door.
Amos to McGee. He has been the prototypical backup point guard, great floor general for this team. Janicki had a nice spark early. Crowl inside.
Not often do I allow new guys on the team to be team captains, but that's exactly what Keyshawn Hall earned.
Crowl skips, Blackwell buries a triple. Debo Coleman put together a really nice game against Tennessee Tech Tuesday, but he's missed his first couple shots. They go back to Crowl. There's the backdoor pass to Blackwell. And there's the passing ability of Crowl, one of the best in the nation as a big man at that.
His head and his eye.
And they're 5 for 12 from 3. Shot clock to 10. Crowl always looking to facilitate, finds a cutting Tanjay for 2 more. Another look here.
They never panic. Shot clock's winding down. They get Crowl the ball in the middle of the zone, and you know, once he gets it, if you cut to the basket really hard, he's going to find you.
Backing down on Guillermo Diaz-Graham. Max Klesman has struggled to shoot the ball of late. Great dime, though, to Crowl for the flush in the first 2 points.
And talk about getting into the flow of the game. Crowl's another guy the other night.
Towards Pitt's success early, 6-0 start, first time since 2018-2019. Wisconsin, no field goals going on 3.5 minutes until now. John Tanjay, a great backdoor cut for 2.
Really not an issue for this Pittsburgh team. They're just going to miss that physical presence on the inside. Tanjay
up top for the slam.
With the cut. And who was it on the assist? Should again here. He never seems to rush when he gets the basketball. His head and his eyes are always up, and his teammates know if they cut and they cut hard, they will get layups because he's going to find them.
Again, he leads them in his.
But now they're trying to go man-to-man, and Nolan Winter has a big-time advantage in the post.
There's the other 7-footer down low, and that is Winter with the seal.
That's textbook defense right there on Tanjay.
And that was clean, and this is clean. Tanjay on the cut gets the easy 2-hand dunk.
Those puppies. 7-footer, good job on the double team, facing the defense with his size. Finds Tanjay on the cut. Trying to keep that dribble penetration to a minimum.
Step back 3 for Blackwell is wide right. Crowl gets the rebound and hands it off to Tanjay for an easy lay-in.
Sometimes that may slow you down just body-wise. Nice job to Crowl on the feed from Klesman.
But that's what Stephen Crowl needs to do. Wisconsin's had success is finding ways to get in the paint. You see Detroit with so many bodies there. That's where Crowl needs to make a quick decision. He does. He reads that, realizes that the double team's not there. And it all starts with the eye and the little crab dribble there. And to me, that's what Stephen Crowl needs to do more of. Understand, make quicker decisions, get the ball in the post. You look at it, it's not there. Now repost big, take one crab.
We don't believe in jinxes, man.
No, we don't.
Tanjay to Crowl, beautiful touch pass. Battle of the bigs going the Badgers' way early.
Well, that starts early. You run hard to the rim. You make yourself available. Good things happen. That's exactly what happens there with Stephen Crowl. And then you just run hard to the front of the rim. You're going to get rewarded. That's what happens with Stephen Crowl. Wisconsin's often.
Sanford at 16.5 points per game, second on Iowa's team behind Freeman.
I like it.
Turned it up in December. And there's the other big. It's Nolan Winter for 2.
You got one-on-one inside with Owen Freeman, but here's that high-low action.
Well, we were talking to Greg Gard about that.
how he would match up 2 7-footers against some smaller guys, and there's Blackwell through the back door.
They are squarely far away from that.
What a cut. What a great play. The bigs can pass beautifully.
Rutgers struggled big time in that department against Indiana on Thursday. On the baseline, there's Crowl with the follow up the miss from McGee. Gilmore and Bailey up in the air. Enter to Crowl.
Nice cut.
Beautiful play. McGee on the finish.
And the pass. The eyes by Crowl. Fingerprints over this game.
Stephen Crowl working on Edmonds here. Crowl coming in off a double-double game against Rutgers. And Crowl beats Edmonds.
Trey Edmonds coming into the game at 6'10", 250.
Even verbal messages administered as well. Clean game so far. The foul is on Osama of Minnesota. This is Crowl up with the left hand and one.
Oh, he's barking at him again. I understand what Minnesota's doing defensively because they don't want to get in rotation if you double team Stephen Crowl, but he's one of the hottest players coming in.
6'11" with moves like that. Crowl, Janicki, no one home for Minnesota.
That's not Frank Mitchell's game. Oda Cali knows that. That's just not a good play there in that scenario.
Winter hits the reverse.
Did a really good job off the bench.
Here's Crowl. Bucket and a foul.
The Wisconsin bench explodes. I've never seen Greg Gard respond this way. I mean, Greg Gard pumped his fist.
And Wisconsin's lead is only 5. Inside, boy, that is pretty by McGee. Little give and go. Blackwell, he has Klesmit on the side. Keeps it himself, swatted. And a whistle called just before that monster block.
Looked like they got John Blackwell with the charge. So Bruce Thornton doing a great job of getting in front, taking the hit. Expect your veterans to step up on the road. He struggled here offensively tonight.
Well, you can tell the focus right now is get it to Crowl. He's got one-on-one in the lane, and he wins. Crowl 14 points to go along with 16 rebounds in the 5-game winning streak. He's averaging 16. That was a great fake one way and the pretty hook the other.
Yeah, couldn't play early in the season, but coming on now, he's going to add a lot of value, especially on the defensive end. Smart player.
Meanwhile, John Blackwell came ready to roll today. A nice pass from Crowl.
Well, we just showed the numbers talking about Wisconsin's offense.
And he's 2 of 13, and Crowl wanted that a little earlier. Got Reese in the air, can't finish, taps it in, and an opportunity at 3.
Well, the physicality drives Julian Reese back towards that stanchion. And it doesn't go the first time, but gives Stephen Crowl a lot of credit for his aggressive.
The other thing on the scouting report with Klesmit, you know he's willing to shoot him from well behind the line. Tanjay with a leak out. Look at finish! Tanjay getting upstairs. Xavier Amos in the game for Wisconsin. Here is Janicki. Screen, pop, inside, bucket.
You see just this pick and pop, and Luke Goody gets caught ball watching. Certainly like the game was a little bit too big for him on that day.
Oh, rejected inside. It's a group effort for the Badgers. Hoosier squad.
Well, this Wisconsin defense getting it done collectively, whether it's on the glass, they're flooding to the basketball off the dribble drive, and you got a number of Badgers who are going to be.
So he's familiar with the program, terrific high school career. Crowl double team. Oh, great find underneath. That is a shiny dime to Janicki.
And Johnson is out. Big miss down low.
Indeed, Jake Davis only 6'6", trying to guard a 7-footer down there. Nice cut.
And a nice flush from Winter.
Against Wisconsin, you've got to be able to see ball and man. Look at Davis here. He's staring down the basketball, and in that case, Yakashona should come over and take away that cut. He's late, never gets there. 6'11", 7-foot guy out of the three-point line.
He has a lot of tools. This guy's pretty good as well, the veteran Stephen Crowl with the right hand.
We just talked about that on the previous play. 5 points rather than 4 turnovers early on. He's got to be much more efficient here in the second half. He starts out the second half with another turnover.
I mean, he has all 6 of their turnovers, and it leads.
Yeah, no doubt those pieces, especially with Johnson out, changes the rebounding narrative.
There's a slam for Nolan Winter.
And it belongs to Wisconsin.
And folks,
going early. That's a good sign for Oregon.
Indeed, 0 for 7 from the field.
Crowl, two-handed flush.
Stephen Crowl being aggressive here early. A little pick and roll, empty side, able to take it to the front of the rim and send it home. We got a good.
And Angel has been quiet. He hasn't scored yet. What a backdoor cut by Klesmit. That's Princeton style, old school.
Hey, folks, when your guy is expecting you to go over the top, he steps up top and you cut back door. That's really good offense. And they.
Now he is on the other side. Just a giveaway. Makai Mason lost it. McGee showing the speed to the rim.
Over the first 20 minutes. Badgers, that excellent ball movement, and they pick up right where they left off. John Blackwell.
Thank you. I don't know the other guys, but I'm going with the guy I'm working with tonight. I appreciate that.
Blackwell to Crowl. Oh, this two-man game working.
That open-sided pick and roll is really hard to guard. Oh, Kamari McGee almost got a steal. If your low man in the paint isn't taking on the roller, it's going to be a dunk.
Turnovers have gotten to us.
Empty possessions have killed them all season long, especially in big games that they have to have.
Stephen Crowl, 135th consecutive start to winner.
Now here, you have to go. If you're done, you have to double with authority, or you give him 80 points in this game to pull this upset.
Dunn stays hot. He had 14 points against Maryland last time out. Also had a season-high 8 rebounds. Tonje not on the board yet. You can change that today.
Keep your eye on Stephen Crowl's eyes. This is a look away. That is wide open, and John Tonje has been.
Crowl's had at least 3 assists in each of the last 3 games, but that sound keeps it himself. You're bringing up some of the best names the last 20, 30 years. Good job inside by Crowl, and he'll have a chance to make it an and one.
Well, I really think he is the key for this team in March. I mean, he's got to play with physicality and toughness. He's going to go up against the elite front lines from the Big 12, the SEC, obviously the tournament next week, but this is going up against a 7.
Crowl on the lookout for an assist or a bucket. And that's how he finds a bucket. Right back to Blackwell.
They don't have a man to stay on, so keep your eye on 22. No one checks him out, and he's just hanging on rims for fun.
Too short. Barry tracks it down.
Oh, yes!
And he gets swatted away by Crowl. A technical on Crowl. For the words spoken after.
And Greg Gard is puzzled, but if he had our headphones, he would have heard exactly what Stephen Crowl said.